This is the stock headlights on the road I normally travel, and you can see they're not very bright. So this is the reason I'm going to upgrade to the new AUXITO LED light bulbs. This is our 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo, and we're changing the bulbs out to LEDs. And so far I've got the 10mm from here, the 10mm from here, the 4 10mm across the top, and the push clips on either side out. And then there is a 10mm on the fender right under here too, and then the bumper just pops off. You just got to wiggle it and the whole thing will come forward, and then I can access the 2 10mm. One's there and one's about there. So let me get those out. So I got a 10mm in there with a long socket, and yes, a roll of toilet paper holding the bumper off. And there's a socket down there. That's where the other 10mm is. Alright, with all the bolts out, there is the plug here, and you just push down on that and give it a wiggle. And it comes out. Alright, with the headlamp off and disconnected, I'm going to put it on a table with a towel. Alright, there we have the headlamp upside down. So the one we're changing is this one. So you turn this cap, it comes off. And there is the problem that I am having, that my fat hand will not fit in and rotate this. So just turn it anti-clockwise, and out comes a bulb. And that is a bad bulb, and that's why we're replacing it. Now, the kit that I got to replace it is the next problem. So we have the AUXITO LED light. And yes, the wind just picked up. Alright, we've got zip ties and an Allen key. Instructions, gloves, and then we have these cool little lights, which are LED. Got a little fan on the back to keep cool, and the electronics are down there away from it. And there is the plug. This is the problem I was having. This plug is going to connect to right to what we have, but when you install it, you can't physically get the connection. I'll show you why. Hold on. Alright, so got it orientated the right way, and it connects fine in the middle bracket. A little tight. Alright, so it's literally half a turn to the left, and then it's got to connect. Now, this is my problem. This does not connect to the electrical outlet, because the electrical outlet, if I pull this off, is connected directly to the metal frame. So somehow I've got to undo this. So I guess I've got to take these 3 screws out and see if we can get this loose, so we can then orientate it so we can connect to that. With this 3 screws out, the bracket can come out, and then I guess there's a little clip by my finger there. I believe if we move that around, we should be able to slide this whole thing off. Alright, when I separated it, there is a small piece right here that unfortunately broke off, but if I need to return it to factory, it does slide back on and lock in place. Alright, so I orientated them this way to see if they will work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it back on the car and connect it back up to power and see if that will work, and then I'll piece it back together. Alright, we just temporarily dropped the headlight back, did the connection up, did that connection up, and now we're going to turn the car on and see if we get any power to that light. Well, as you can see, we do have light, so that is good. So now I'm just going to connect it to the housing and put it all back together. And you can see the LED lights on the thing are a little bit out of focus because of the camera speed. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's get that hooked up. So that's the orientation that I have the plug-in, and it worked. So I'm not going to mess with that, but I think I will run the zip tie that came with the kit around the plug just to keep everything in place. We'll put that metal bracket back and then connect the light bulb. So let's do that next. Well, it was a little bit of a squeeze getting everything in there, but there's plenty of room for this, and it will sit down lower when you got gravity. This cable is a little close to the edge here, but I think I can get the door on it without too much pressure on the wire. Well, everything is buttoned back up there. There is literally no way that I could have done that all in the car. Had like an inch or two between that. I can't even orientate my hand properly to get half the stuff in and out, let alone a screwdriver to take that off. So unfortunately the best way to do it is to remove the entire headlight assembly, which now means I've got to put everything back together on this side and then do the driver's side. So we already have everything out, nuts and bolts wise, so that'll be easy enough now that we know what we're doing. Alright, so the car is buttoned back up. I'm surprised I don't have any extra nuts or bolts, which is unusual because, you know, you always usually have one or two lying around. They're like, huh, I wonder where these go. Everything's back in its stock locations. Headlights work, and I'll get some footage of that at night time for you. But so a 10mm and a socket. A 10mm socket. I had a deep one, an extension, and a flat head screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver is what I used. Tools aren't too hard, but it's just a little pain because of the way these were originally designed. So maybe next time the project will go a bit smoother. Well, I definitely think the new lights were worth the time and energy. Well, this is the stock headlights, as you can